The Revolutionary's Creed. A feral delirium is haunting America. A specter of chaos, disorder, of anarchy rattles the walls in the boardrooms where deft and deadly hands package our wars and deodorant sprays. In living rooms where zombies gather to drink at the shimmering electronic pool, from images of mass murder, elections, software, and those soft drinks that leave a prickly aftertaste of zinc.
Between the con games and the mortgages, at the fault lines where mythologies collide, a scream from underground bursts forth to name the agony that protects us, to confess the anarchist revolution, and to proclaim the abolition of everything.
For the abolition of property. You say the rich are greedy. True enough, for we have seen them at the trough, squishy, spineless, like sea worms, gulping and vomiting through a single cloacal orifice. Yet we do not condemn their appetites for what living creature is without desire, but that life's feast is too rich for them.
They are bland and bloodless. You say the rich conspire to deprive the worker of his labor, the family of their dignity and home. Parasites do not conspire, but through smiles and frowns communicate all the assurances and privileges of class.
Blind to the beast behind the smoothened brow, they have trained gangs of psychopaths in blue to execute their secret lusts. They parcel out what's yours and mine, but always theirs. They oversee the landlord's ownership of where we live, the boss's control of the passing minutes of our lives. The revolutionary must abandon goods and home to wandering bereft, exposed to the elements and everyone's scorn. The revolutionary must embrace the world's sorrow every night and rise each day tormented by renewed self-doubt. The revolutionary must live on edge, paranoid, insomniac, tireless for capital does not sleep, but whips around the planet 24/7 on electron streams.
Surely the revolutionary must be something of a masochist.
Two, for the abolition of identity.
You say that we are separate, you and I. Agreed. When I step on your toe, I cannot really feel your pain, though people say that. So you hunker down to warm yourself over the ashes of your suffering. You worry at the sparks. You blow that wounded ego into a righteous rage, a flaming persona that merely illuminates the barren closet where you crouch to suck the last heat from your injury.
The revolutionary must break down all barriers, erect no others in their place. He must be vulnerable for all to see, eating and sleeping in public benches. He must perform the most intimate acts entirely unashamed and nakedly, defecate in common lavatories on toilets without stalls in facing rows that extend and converge at the horizon like series of self-regarding mirrors. Participate in universal orgies, be the penetrator penetrated in tangled serpentine knots until pharmaceutically fine-tuned synapses fire and the whole world snaps in a single synesthetic spasm and humanity becomes one sex, one pain, and yes, one gigantic festering toe.
It seems like the revolutionary must be some kind of lunatic.
Three, for the abolition of humanity.
You say they've raised their lofty standards of nation, religion, of hometown team that we must rally to. clasping the hand of our heritage and hugging the near horizon.
But see the revolutionary ascendant seize the stars and harness their blows with prosthetic claws of rare device, cannibalized from rusted automobiles. See the revolutionary ape with translucent veins and silicon pulse, our prayers, our fantasies of masturbation. See the revolutionary pierce the barbed genetic wires that bind us to black dog and obscure Drosophila. At borderlines where gods and goats combine, the revolutionary's visionary scribe plants consciousness in vehicles and vesicles and basic quantum slag.
The revolutionary, dark clone from his enemies, the capitalists, shall pervert their sciences to his own exalted ends. The revolutionary must be skilled in the arts of mass destruction, a friend to steel and to gasoline, wired to the gills, a bionic chimp who's hooked on phonics.
All in all, the revolutionary must be some sort of a monster. Four, for the abolition of reality. When the ravages of night descend, each comrade shall embrace the other as warriors wedded in a single cause.
But in the turmoil of the days to come, when the sunlight strikes our faces, we shall turn as enemies once again. We long for the security of some common ground, for what is solid, what is plain, for all to touch and see.
We grip the wooden banister as we descend the stairs, run our hands along the groove, fingering each varnished curve.
Our lives parade before us, tumbling past in review.
Jack and Jill hop out of the box, collide without connection as the cartoon sudden pedestrian smeared across our windshield.
So we shackle every article with the tyranny of nouns. Here is water, here is ice, here is the tire that floats in the water.
We call this river the Styx. It brings trade and commerce to our shore.
Here come the merchants hawking their wares.
Here come the rats to eat up our brains, and madness hides at the turn of the stairs.
We press the world tight in the vice grip of sanity. We squeeze the common essence to distill the carnal gist that tells us what it is that we hold.
The scraping coal that says it's metal.
The blood that makes it rose.
The pearl that makes an oyster.
And the beat that drives the song.
And opposites curl up in pairs like parasites, like hosts.
It is the buyer makes the sale.
The hunter defines his prey. Creator and destroyer, and you and I are one, and the people all mingle in the street with but a single cry. Every man is mankind, and each dog is a bone. They've torn out the pages from the old dictionaries, and history bleeds in hypertext that's written on the walls.
Time goes on a joyride. It stops at every bar where matter is just metaphor, and the only tense is now.
The revolutionary swims out into the swill. The flotsam of phenomena swirl about his head. An angel with fins form, fire, energy on wheels. The revolutionary has long since forgotten just what he's fighting for.
He only knows that he must be something like a god.
Five, for the city of the new millennium. Dreams, you say, or madness? Fanaticism, or even worse? But where can we escape to? The country surrounds the city, Chairman Mao once said, but pandemonium's encircled with a shopper's paradise, and they've sealed all the exits now that capital is flown.
We're stranded at the corner of decadence and despair. The public squares have all become anarchy's domain.
There are no gangs left here, no pigs, no governments to tell us what to do.
And the orphans of divorce are shaking off the pain. to reclaim their ancient playgrounds from the dregs of Western civ.
They're beating out their rhythms on abandoned steel drums. They're tickling iron gratings as they dance along the street, and the pipes burst out with laughter and hydrants overflow, and flowers string about them to bloom on concrete walls. The revolutionary stirs in the middle of the night. His infant fears are laid to rest, his demons cauterized by the rituals of desire.
Down that open cellar door where the men and women dance, once hostages were held. And singers and healers are practicing their arts in an empty warehouse where we hid some refugees.
As midnight swells with music, the revolutionary warrior has become a child, a lover, a singer, and a song.